What's up, guys? How's it going? It is turning into late fall here in Montana, so that means a lot of the rivers are way too low to run, and some of which are almost completely dried out. Nothing I can really do about that. Mother Nature, really. Although there are a few dam-controlled rivers out here, they're a ways out of my way, and I really don't want to drive out there at the moment. I'm trying to make some money for the spring. Got some stuff coming in there, and some things I'm trying to get together for the spring so I can have a full kit come spring, and I'm going to keep that hidden for a little bit. Kind of my a gift to myself come spring, anyway. That being said, I'm happy to sit down here and do some more breakdown videos, some review videos, some reaction videos. This video itself is actually going to be a breakdown video of a rapid out there in Washington called Boulder Drop. It is a rapid I got to run while I was out there. I did it 6 times. I swam 3 of them. It's big. It could be class 4, class 4 plus, class 5, some people might call it, at certain water levels. So it's big stuff, and I wanted to do a breakdown video of this in case any of you guys are more interested in running the Skykomish or just interested in looking at Boulder Drop itself. So we're going to dive on into it. First thing to notice here in the video is there is this awesome little calm spot eddy with a rock beach there. You can actually get out of your boats, beach your boats here, and go scout the rapid as you want to. You can walk all the way down the river and scout the rapid. You can also scout the rapid from the road, which is actually river left over here in the trees, which is really nice, especially if you end up in some trouble. You got a bit of a scramble, but you can get it to the road for an evac if you need to. Right off the bat, just downstream of us here is these rocks sitting in the river, these big boulders. That's actually the top of Boulder Drop, hence its name. The line here is sort of go next to this flat rock here in the middle of the river. I'm kind of circling it at the moment. It's kind of middle right of the river. And then work your way to the left side of this big pyramid-shaped rock downstream there. So that's the kind of the line you want to take as the entrance move. I'm going to roll the video and you guys can watch this boat as we're going through here. This boat is just full of guides, so myself and 2 other guides, so no guests, luckily enough, because we did end up in a little bit of trouble. Back in a minute. Yeah. So I do want to note that all of us were a little tense at this point. There were just 3 of us in the boat, and the guide in the back was just basically telling us her commands there. So basically saying when she says drive, it means everybody needs to paddle forward as hard as they can. So that's an awesome thing to have out there, is clear communication, especially if you have some sort of jargon out there that you use. I know I use my stuff, somebody else uses a different thing. It's nice to explain to your crew and your paddlers kind of what your commands are, just to get clear communication across the boat. So here she's lining up. This is kind of our practice run at it. She did end up guiding this rapid and on this river for the summer, but she was kind of getting used to the runs with guides in there instead of guests right off the bat, which is a nice way of starting out on a river, especially if you're nervous about it, is see if you can get a couple of fellow guides to help you do some training laps down a rapid. So we're passing into the right of the flat rock there. And right here you can really see the entrance of it. I said go to the right of that. I was wrong. You actually go, I said go to the left of this big pyramid-shaped rock, tongue-tied. I was wrong. You're actually going to the right of it. And you can see 2 kind of smaller rocks in the shallows there. And you're going to kind of split the difference between the 2. There's going to be a crashing wave because this line of water between the big pyramid-shaped rock and these 2 little rocks there is actually a bit of a drop. And you end up kind of center right of it. So that's what I was kind of talking to you about. There's a bit of a drop here, and there is what we're aiming for. That's where you hear the guide say harder, harder. She wants us to get the boat into this area here, kind of nicking the side of this big pour over here, or this roller, this crasher right there, and kind of scoot between this into what's called the bubble pool. If you can get into the bubble pool here, you have a good amount of time to line up to another drop and find what's called Ned's Needle, or so yeah, after we got into that, you do want to kind of be more on the right side of this. This water level, by the way, is about 4,800. So you're going to be to the right side of that and coast along this, and there are actually going to be 3 channels right here. So there's one on the far right, you don't want to go in that one. There's one kind of here in the middle, and that's the one we aim for. And then there's another one to the far left here on the left side, and it's a nice one to get into, but we don't really get into that one too much. So that's why I said you don't really want to go left here. In lower water, I believe you can make it to the left side, and maybe some kayaks can make it that way. But this right here is what is called Ned's Needle, and that's one of the best runs to get through kind of the middle move of Boulder Drop here. So the rock we ended up on there is called Dragon's Back. It's a rock that really starts popping out at the below 5,000 water, or the below 5,000 CFS mark. We made it through Ned's Needle. Nice smooth move there. As you're entering that, you definitely want to be pointing kind of how we were and just sliding up and over that. And the water will kind of kick you back to the other side as you go. Well, it ended up kind of being lucky for us here, and look, I say lucky, looking back at the video here, is ending up on top of Dragon's Back. We actually had time to take a bit of a breather, relax a little bit, get our bearings, and then line up for the exit, which is over here, kind of on the top of the frame here. And then we roll out of that. But don't be too easy to celebrate as you're coming out of this, because Boulder Drop is not the killer. It's what knocks you out of the boat. The killer is actually what's weird downstream of us. So if you fall out of your boat here and you're not able to get back, do your best to swim to the side, get around these boulders, get to the side of the river, because the weir is what's going to kill you. So right now what we're trying to do is actually get off of the Dragon's Back. Doing my best to high side the boat just to keep it upright, because I knew that, you know, Boulder Drop would make you swim, but it's not the killer. Right now we're doing our best to get to the side of what's called Big House Rock, which is this rock just out of frame on the right side here. There is another little rock in here called the Doghouse. It pops out more at low water though. That might be the doghouse right over there.
We're good. Yeah! One more, hang on, that's it. We got a rock.
So like I said, like I was saying in the video, one more. I knew we couldn't celebrate just yet because, you know, there's a bit more of stuff in here that could knock you out of the boat. And the weir is just starting to pop up downstream there. So like I said, Boulder Drop isn't really a killer. It has killed people, but it's one of those rapids that knocks you out of the boat. And once you're swimming, you'll swim straight into the weir down there, and that's what will kill you. So another thing to have on Boulder Drop is some safety kayakers. It's good. It's a friend of mine right there. I paddled with her quite a bit. I actually kayaked with her recently on the Flathead, a fun time. And then we had another boat with us as well. That one had the guests in there. And it was just nice that they stopped there and set safety for us, especially on a big rapid like that. But setting safety on any rapid is just good practice as well. All right, so that was Boulder Drop. It was kind of, like I said, about 4,800 CFS. I have another video which I want to show you guys that Boulder Drop is at 8,000 CFS, and it was my very first clean run. We were running in a 15-foot boat. The video I just showed you was actually in a 13.5-foot boat. So I'm going to pull that video up real quick, and we're going to take a look at that one. On to this next video, and I'm not going to talk too much in this one. There might be a few things to point out. Again, we are starting out on this kind of nice cobble, rocky beach here, sort of a just rocky beach. Nice spot, again, to stop and scout. Again, you can scout from the road as well, but this is just a nice spot to stop and scout the river and the rapid.
Holy crap, where are they going?
So, as you can tell, this is quite a bit of higher water level. This rock here is submerged a bit more, and Boulder Drop is quite a bit higher water level. And this water level, it's a lot more pushy as you're going through stuff, as you know, granted during a higher water level. So you have a lot less time to make your moves. You gotta make sure you have a plan in your head, and you almost have to have a backup plan going into it as well.
We got an audience.
Again, the guide in this boat was another boat full of just guides.
One more one.
The actual guide in the boat was taking his time lining us up here. Now, as you can tell, we're going between the big pyramid-shaped rock and the rocks over on the right side. And then, as you can also tell, there's a lot more water again, because you can see the spray of white water popping up just on that first drop there.
One more one. One more one. Right back, left forward.
Again, that's another thing for any kind of boating. If you have, your commands you use, I have rarely used right forward, left back, or right back, left forward, but if that's your type of guiding, that's your type of guiding. Sometimes you need that boost. I've used it on occasion, especially if I have to make the boat really twist and turn. I'm a strong fella, but if I can get that boat from here to there as fast as I can, I'm gonna put the paddlers into work. So we're a little more to the right side in this one, kind of aiming through this, but in contrast to the 4,800 run, again this one is at 8,000 CFS. That tongue that we kind of hit at the 4,800 is almost gone. There's just a lot more water coming down. So even at the 8,000 CFS mark, you can definitely tell you have quite a bit of time in this bubble pool to set your run up and get the line, your boat and your line set to go through the needle here. Don't take too long to do it because you do want to get into the needle. There are rocks right there and it sucks going over the top of those. I actually went over the top of, I believe, this far right one on one of my runs, and I was one of the places I swam during that run.
Hard, dig it. Yeah, come on.
Pointed a bit more to the left on this one. Lots of water coming in. Got to fight a little bit more to get to the left side. And as you can tell on this run, the dragon's back isn't showing. We're not going to quite make it. At least that's what we thought at the time.
Back it up, back it up. High side, mother suckers.
High side and slid right off.
Watch yourself.
Right, I mean, to the left side of the big house there. I don't know how exactly we did that.
Back it up.
So if you might have heard that, some of those guys there were saying there was a swimmer on the right bank. This was another one of those trips that we had guests with us. They were in a different boat actually, and that boat actually flipped. I don't know where exactly they flipped at, but they flipped and the guests went swimming, the guide went swimming, and so we had to go. We went and picked up one of the guests, ended up on the right side of the river here. Everybody else ended up on the left side there. That just goes to show that, like I said before, Boulder Drop can put you in the water. It's not necessarily a killer though. The killer is the weir downstream there. I'm just happy that none of the guests ended up in the weir, and the guide with the boat actually ended up below the weir, but they were perfectly fine. So that's good. That's the good news.
Come on! Get it! Come on! Yeah! Hold! All forward, go!
So there's the swimmer. We did pick her up. Everybody was fine. A little startled, a little shook up, but everybody was fine. So that was Boulder Drop. I don't know if that was the best breakdown of it. It was kind of my first big breakdown of a rapid, just one rapid in particular. I know I've done kind of breakdown videos, reaction videos in the past before. Tell me what you guys think of it. Give me some tips, anything really, leave them down there in the comment section. I'd love to read over them. I'd love to get better at this, just to help you guys out there on the water. I have some rapids from, or some more rapids from Washington here and some rapids from Utah I want to go through here in the next few weeks. Kind of spread it out a little bit to have videos across the way. Again, give your thoughts down there in the comment section below. And other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video.